Hi, welcome to Cooking with Ann. Today we have Jason. And we went out in the community and found the best cooks we could for cooking salmon. And today we have Jason with us. So studio audience, welcome Jason. Jason, you can take it from here and tell us how you're going to start.
All right, today I'm going to make smoked salmon, honey chipotle, honey salmon, and I have about a 2.5 pound salmon here. What we're going to do, the first thing we have to do is when you smoke a salmon, you have to make sure that first of all that it's dry. So I've already got a 2.5 pound salmon already here. I've cut it in half. I'm going to do it in 2 segments so that we can fit it on the grill later on. But the first thing we want to do is make sure that it's dry. So we're going to pat it dry.
Why do we do that, Jason?
We want to make sure that we get all the moisture off the top of it. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take some kosher salt and some brown sugar and make a mix of it. And then we're going to coat it on here.
Oh.
And what that does is it draws out the moisture in it. So when we go through the smoking process, it's not real about moisture and whatnot. It's when you put it on there and you get that little smoky flavor and you get it flakes off right. So we're going to pack it in some brown sugar and salt first.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to pat it off for a little bit. And then we're also going to score it. A lot of people don't score their fish. I like to score mine because I want to make sure that it's all the seasoning gets in between the flesh. So I cut it in diamonds. So what I'm going to do is cut this in diamonds. You don't want to go all the way through to the skin. You just want to score it through like this. Make sure that when we make our brown sugar and our salt mix that we can rub it into the middle and all that moisture gets out. So when you smoke it, it really flakes off and has that, it's not a salmon texture, but it's like a smoky, smoke texture. So what I have here is I have a bowl, and if you do equal parts of your brown sugar and your salt, really no measurements, but for this I'm gonna use about 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and then I'm gonna use another 1.5 cups of kosher salt. I want to make sure that it is equally.
And you use kosher salt. Why is that?
I use kosher salt because it's more of a brinier texture, and it brings up the moisture a little bit more. So I want to use kosher salt. Take it in, and you want to make sure you have a lot of salt because this whole process is really trying to get that moisture out of the salmon.
Oh, okay.
So when you do your cold smoking, you get that good texture. So I have that, and I have my best friend here. My best friend is Accent.
Oh, wow.
Accent really brings out that flavor in any kind of meat or any kind of dish that you do. So I always put at least a tablespoon in this type of thing, in this type of ingredient, just so I can bring out the flavor. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon in there.
And then we're not sponsoring that, but he's saying that Accent is the best to use.
So now that we have that, we have a good mixture you see here, about 1/2 and 1/2. We want to go ahead and pack that on top of the salmon. And we're going to get a good amount in here.
Whoa.
I mean, it looks like we're not seasoning, we're packing it to bring out that moisture.
Okay.
So we should pack it in here, make sure it's all packed. We're going to rub-a-dub-dub. That's why we went ahead and scored it to make sure that we get the seasoning in between the skin.
Okay.
And so I'm going to make sure that it's all packed in there, packed in between our scores. And don't worry about it. You may think that oh man, that's going to be sweet, or that's going to be too salty. But
I was thinking that. I'm glad you said that.
again, this is not to season the fish. This is to draw the moisture, and it's going to be a little sweet. But when we take this out, we're going to wrap this up really tightly.
Okay.
And we're going to put it in the refrigerator for about 8 to 24 hours. I really recommend doing it overnight to get all that moisture out. But if you're in a hurry, you can do 8 hours. So we're just gonna pack this in there, and then we're going to wrap it up very, very tightly.
Okay.
And then when we unpack it, we're going to rinse all this off. So that's why you're not going to have all that salt and that brown sugar taste in it. Because we're going to rinse this off. This is just a process of drawing out the moisture and get it ready for our cold smoke.
Okay.
So I'm going to really wrap this up really tightly. As tight as you can here.
I hope you all on YouTube and Instagram can see this. And of course my studio audience. I'm not forgetting about you guys.
Pack this into this really tight.
Okay.
And then when we come back in the morning, we'll see that moisture come up to the top.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll go ahead and reach it off. And I'll show you the texture of that as well when we come back.
Okay.
So, alright.
All
That's
right.
what we've done right here. It's all packed and ready to go. We're going to put this in the refrigerator overnight for about, 8 to 16 hours. We'll come back and then we'll rinse it off, and we'll go ahead and finish off later on. There you go.
Okay, we'll see you in just a minute.